Hey everyone, welcome. In this video, I am going to walk you through a real cloud migration project that our team at Agility Innovations executed for a large US food distribution company. We took their entire data infrastructure, SQL Server, SSIS pipelines, SSAS cubes, SSRS reports, all of it sitting on premises and moved everything to Microsoft Azure, fully automated, fully cloud native. You can see the before and after right here. Every legacy system mapped to its Azure equivalent. So let's dive in. So at a high level, here's the scale of what we built. Over 80 ADF pipelines, all fully automated, 121 scheduled triggers running around the clock, 5 databases migrated to a single Azure SQL managed instance, and a 4 separate source system all feeding into one unified data warehouse. On the left, what we built: SQL migration, replacing SSIS with Azure Data Factory, rebuilding all reporting in Power BI. On the right, how we integrated it, connecting their ERP system entry, plus TrackMax and Samsara and several other third-party tools, all flowing into a star schema data warehouse with over 20 fact and dimension tables. This is the full architecture. On the left, the legacy on-premises world, SQL Server as the database, SSIS handling all the ETL, SSAS cubes for analytics, SSRS for reports, a file server for payroll, CSVs, and Excel files, multiple third-party systems all included. Everything on the left got migrated. On the right, here is where we landed. Azure SQL Managed Instance replaced SQL Server. Azure Data Factory replaced all the SSIS packages. Azure SSAS in the cloud. Power BI for modern reporting. The key thing to notice is the right side is cleaner. Fewer systems, everything centralized, everything managed from one place. Now let's look at the actual pipeline. This is pipeline, the master daily ETL pipeline, the big one that kicks off every single night. You can see the full chain. It starts by loading data from the ERP system, updates financials, promotions, brings in TrackMax data, refreshes the invoice details, loads all the dimension tables, then the fact tables, and finally triggers the analytics queue refresh. This entire chain runs at 2 a.m. Central every night. No human involvement is needed. Zero. The data warehouse loading pipeline. This is what actually populates the star schema. Each box here is stored procedure call, loading a specific fact table, fact invoices, purchase orders, rebates, daily inventory, cash receipts, account receivables, BFC adjustments, commissions. Every stored procedure supports both delta loads and fully reloads. So if something breaks on a specific table, we can rerun just that one without touching anything else. That's the reliability the client needed. So in this ingestion pipeline, this handles all the file-based sources, payroll files, garnishment, CSVs, vendor data, anything that arrives as a flat file. The pattern is a for each loop. It reads the folder metadata, filters for the file it needs, then each file copies the data, archives the file, and deletes the original. This design is a completely generic. You can point it at any folder, any file type. We reuse this same pattern across multiple pipelines throughout the project. The account receivable daily update. This one is interesting because of the parallel execution you can see here. It starts with a single stored procedure for the AR daily update. Then it branches, refreshing both the AR cache AR fact table and the AR fact table simultaneously in parallel, not one after the other. This cuts execution time roughly in half versus running them sequentially. This kind of parallel branching is one of the key advantages of ADF over old SSIS, cleaner to build and faster to run. This is inside the actual data warehouse, the DW4 database on Azure SQL Managed Instance. The left panel The full table list, fact tables, fact invoices, fact AR, fact purchase orders, dimension tables like dim customer, dim driver, dim employee, dim time, a proper star schema. The middle, the stored procedures. Over 30 of them, every fact table has a dedicated refresh stored procedure. All business logic lives in a TSQL, not buried in the pipeline. The analytical views layer. These are what Power BI and SSAS connect to, an abstraction layer between the raw tables and reporting. Clean separation. This is the live Azure Data Factory monitor. Real production environment, not a demo. 81 pipelines running in the last 24 hours. Every green succeed badge is real. These completed successfully. Look at the duration. Some finish in 28 seconds. The sales pipeline takes over an hour because of the data volume. All of this happening automatically in the background while the client runs their business. 81 pipelines, 121 triggers, all succeeded. That is a production grade data platform. Now reporting the left side, the old system, SQL Server Reporting Services, SSRS. On-premises only accessible inside the network, no mobile, no cloud. Right side, same report, rebuilt in Power BI on Azure. Same data, same calculation, same layout, but now cloud hosted, accessible anywhere, any device, any browser. These interactive parameters let users select any week, any driver. Report refreshes instantly. This is the weekly driver's pay report. It shows hours, cases, stops, miles, incentive pay, total earnings. Every driver gets their full breakdown. The client no longer needs IT to generate this. They open Power BI and it's there. In the next slide, the quick technical slide for the engineers. This is the actual TSQL inside one of our stored procedures, refreshing the fact sales table. The parameter right there, delta load. Every single stored procedure we built supports both incremental and full reload. Pass 1 for daily delta, pass 0 to rebuild the whole table. We applied this consistently across all 30 plus procedures. Refresh fact sales, refresh fact R, refresh fact payments info. Every business domain, every single one of them has this. So this is the results and the impact. 100% cloud hosted, 24/7 automated ETL, nothing runs manually. 5 databases in a single Azure SQL managed instance. Power BI reports accessible from anywhere. Over 80 pipelines live, 121 triggers on schedule. This is a fully operational production grade Azure data platform built and delivered by Agility Innovations. So obviously, why choose Agility Innovations? Why work with us? So we deliver end-to-end ownership. We don't hand you a document and disappear. We design, build, deploy, and make sure it runs in a production. Enterprise scale, thousands of transactions a day, payroll processing, financial reporting, driver management. We have built for that. Modern stack, the Azure SQL MI, ADF, Power BI, SSAS, all Microsoft Cloud architecture, no custom frameworks. And proven delivery. The numbers in this video are real, not estimated, not planned, delivered. So we have set up 121 active triggers in the Azure Data Factory which run all of these 80 pipelines, so there is no manual intervention needed. These pipelines run automatically at the scheduled time automatically. So if your company is still running SSIS packages waiting for overnight reports, dealing with on-prem SQL Server maintenance headaches, we have already solved all of that for a client exactly like yours. Your data deserves better. If you want to talk about what this migration could look like for your organization, reach out to us at agilitytech.ai. Thank you guys for watching.